Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is Tom Clark's Main Event. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. I'm trying something different with the light. Do you like it? You want to know why? Because it was overhead like the core of the sun going blah, ha, 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 down at me all the time, and I couldn't stand it anymore. I like the spotlight, but I don't like it so much. I want to burn to death. So I moved it to the right. Can you tell a difference? Am I fuzzy at all? I'm not talking about the beard. By the way, I finally got the haircut and finally got the beard trim. That sucker was out to here. I lost 3 pounds when I lost that hair. Hi, I'm Tom. Welcome to my show. Happy Friday to you, kids. What's up? Welcome back. I appreciate you guys joining me as always. I do much appreciate it. Let's get the banner banning. Let's get the ticker. Hold on. Let's get the ticker ticking. There it is. Tick-tock, tick-tock. So, how's everybody out there today? Hope you guys have had a great week. I've had an interesting week. It's not been a bad week, mind you. Interesting, to say the least. But it's all good, man. We're back live and live in color with you here today on the Wrestling Rumors. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. If you've never watched the show before, I'm Tom. What's up? This is my podcast. The Main Event's been going strong since 2014. We're in season 9 of the show. It's a labor of love for me. I love doing this. I have a second podcast called Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. We focus on movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. If you've never listened to the show, I got people in the chat today who will vouch for it. Hopefully you guys will. So yeah, if you're down with that, I got 4 words for you. Tom Clark's 6M Podcast. That kind of fell apart, didn't it? But it's all good. Kids, before we get to comments today and start covering the topics of the week, please do me a big, huge favor, if you will. Hit the thumbs up, hit the heart button, and hit that notifications button. That sucker's very important, folks. It means loads to me. It means that the next time I go live here on the page with the show, you will be notified with a little ding ding action, and you will know, hey, Tom's back. All right. So there you go. Again, kids, hit the thumbs up, the heart button, and the subscribe button. We appreciate you. Let's see who is first to the party today. Sugar Shane Odom, what's going on? Carlos Martinez, how are you, my friend? Ray all day, what's going on, dude? Guten Tag, Sandy in Germany. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Sandy, how was your vacation a few weeks ago, dude? Did you have fun? Jamel, what's going up in Vegas? How you doing, my friend? Eric says he's on dad duty during bottle time. Man, you got an infant baby that happening, don't you? God, dude, I can barely remember when my kid was being held. I couldn't pick my kid up now if you paid me. It's not happening. Chad Too Bad in the house. What's going on, dude? Eric says he can't hear anything. I hear you. What's going on, Joe? It's Shane McMahon on you're talking about, nah, dude, come on. We'll get there, Joe. Joe, you got a great name, brother. Joe Simon, Jack Kirby. Yeah. What's up, E? How are you doing, my friend? Good to see you. CRC in the house. How are you, my friend? Good morning to you. Double V, Victor Vasquez. I appreciate you, brother, as always, for hanging out. Brett point out AEW is that, man, did anybody ever watch AEW back in the day? Can I be honest with you, kids? Toward the end of that run, that was some hard stuff to watch, dude. Whew. Wahoo past his prime. God rest Wahoo. One of my favorites of all time. But yeah, it was a little rough there in the end. Isaiah, how are you, my friend? Thanks for watching. What's up, Bobby? How you doing, dude? Listen, there's 30 of you here. I want everybody here to do me a big up, if you will. Please, please, please hit the thumbs up, the heart button, and hit that notifications bell. Here's the deal, kids. Every time you guys like this video, heart, thumbs up, bam, 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 shoot those numbers up. You know what that does for me? Nothing. just kidding. But I'll tell you what it does do. The folks that run the Wrestling Rumors page, they see it and they appreciate it. And it looks good on your boy. You want your boy to look good, don't you? I mean, I look good right now, don't I? It's my profile here. What do you think, man? I got some gray coming in, but it's all good. I call those experience fibers. Those aren't gray hairs, baby. Those are experience fibers. I just came up with that. Tim, you're always a loyal guy, always pounding the beat of the pro wrestling scene. I appreciate you, my friend. And Ray, Tim's got your back, brother. Oh, E, I'm sorry to hear your news, my friend. All the best to your family and to you. Deep condolences for your loss, kids. Everyone wish E the best. We got stuff to talk about here, kids. We got bunches of stuff to talk about. Eric, I'm doing well, man. It's a rainy day here in the Carolinas, but it's all good. All right, folks. Well, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Are you ready? This moment of silence brought to you by Tom Clark's Main Event. There goes the money. Here we go. There goes the money. Money, money, money. Come on. Sing with me. Woo! Let me get this straight. The boss's son. The boss's son. Remember we talked about this last week, didn't we? You guys remember what we talked about last week? Who was here? Who was here? Raise your hands if you were here. Raise them. Who was here? Who gets extra credit? Because they watched last week, baby. Who was here? Last week we said that the boss's son, the son of Vince McMahon, the spawn of the loins of Vince McMahon, for years, evidently didn't want really not much interest in running his dad's company. We heard that for a long time, mostly online, but from various different sources that Shane just didn't. It's like, well, you know, wouldn't it make the most sense for Shane McMahon, again, the son of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, to step in and run Daddy Dearest's company? Well, evidently, Shane just. So last Saturday, here comes the money, shows up. And if you believe anything that was said, he's backstage producing the men's Rumble match. And maybe just a little bit, upset some folks. As a result of that, Shane has been quietly let go. Now, here's the deal. Word is that Shane was under a talent contract. He wasn't calling the shots behind the scenes, but he has evidently done some production on the men's Royal Rumble match before, and specifically on that show. But I guess we're led to believe that when he showed up, he said, all right, gather around, kids, gather around. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to sell for me. You're going to sell for me. You, I'm going to punch you square in the face. You, I'm going to miss you all together. But all y'all going to have to bump and feed. I got 2 words for you. 3. I got 3 words for you. Bump and feed. So they did. Shane came in, house of fire. Shane came in harder than Ronda Rousey. We'll get there. We'll get there. Never you fear. We'll get there. But then all of a sudden, the Rumble sucked. Shut up. Shut up. The men's Royal Rumble match sucked. Now, one guy's opinion, maybe you loved it. If you did, go with God, brother. Me personally, I thought the men's Royal Rumble match was not good. Less than stellar, okay? But I looked forward to it. I wanted to see what surprises there were. There were, quite frankly, no surprises. Shane McMahon comes in, house of fire, bigger and badder than Ronda. And now evidently, he's getting blamed. Possibly the scapegoat for how bad the match was.
That's hard time.
That seems a little ridiculous to me. I haven't looked at anyone's comments, but I'm gonna now. Let's see what you kids think. Canadian, Cam, back. Dude, I've been watching your trucking videos, man. I'm glad you're safe, my friend. Be careful up there. Molly says, where'd you go, Moll? Molly says, women's was more put together. Mm-hmm. CRC, where you at? I agree, Mr. Clark. The men's rumble. I like the Mr. Clark stuff. I get used to that. Men's rumble was trash, just poor booking. CRP, what's up? My prediction on Brock last week was spot on. Yeah, you called it, brother. Jamila says, no surprises. I was very underwhelmed. Eric says, I tuned in WWE for the Rumble. First time in 2 years. Hot garbage, no doubt. Where'd you go, E? E says, would you agree that Ivory was the Karen of WWE back in the day? She looks good. Dude, I loved Ivory then. I love Ivory now. She's in phenomenal shape. Bring Ivory back. Full time. Christopher Wilson says they started with AJ and Nakamura. I thought it was going to be fire. Dude, no kidding. A lot of you guys picked AJ last week to win, right? Yeah. Guys, what do you think about this? What's the deal? Is Shane the scapegoat for how bad this match was? Ray All Day says Shane is horrible in the ring and messes up Rumble, but WWE stinks like, of course, Adam Cole is Kong as well as King, evidently. King Kong, why not? Yeah, dude. I don't know. We'll see. What's up, Mark? How are you, my friend? Tony, what's going on? What's up, Brian Fisher? What's up, my friend? How are you? I'm trying to catch up on some comments here, kids. So yeah, I think, listen, if he's being made to be the scapegoat, that's absolutely insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no point in that. The second part of this banner, well, the first part is the here comes the money bit. WWE reported their like the biggest profit. It seems like every time they have a call, they report the biggest profits ever. They got some money in that company. Do those WWE folks? Yikes! Money, baby. Back up the truck to Saudi Arabia. Oh, here comes the blood money. Here comes the blood money. I'm saying, dude, come on. You know what I mean? If you let go of all these people and saved all this cash, and I guess you'd show profits too. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Listen, come at me if you want to. I just call it like I see it. They drew over 44,000 fans at the Rumble last week. You know what that tells me? You know what that tells me? Listen, I'll tell you. Ask me, I'll tell you. Okay. That tells me they've got a product that people want to see. They've got stars that people want to see. It's the truth. People want to come to those shows. Now, what they get when they get there is something altogether different. In the grand scheme of things, are a bunch of white dudes online yelling about WWE and how it doesn't make any sense 99% of the time. Is it like screaming into the Grand Canyon where nobody cares and no one really hears you? You see what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know. That's up to you to decide, man. Not me. That's your call. By the way, folks, everyone that's here, please, please, please hit the thumbs up and hit the heart button. If you haven't done so, please do that. I would very much appreciate it. Molly says, what will Alexa do? Hopefully go back home. That's not meant personal. I don't mean Alexa Bliss, the talent. I mean the character. I'm not a fan of the character, Maul. I'm just not. Can I call you Maul? Maul, I'm not a fan of the character. I'm just not. I haven't been from day one. It's just, I'm not sold on it. I'm just not sold on it. That's me personally. Jason Stevens, what's up, my friend? How are you? Welcome back to the show. Everybody, thank you for hanging out. If you guys know wrestling fans, you got friends on the Facebook, on the Twitter, wherever you are, send them an invite. Tell them to come check out the show. I'd very much appreciate it. You guys are the best, dude. All of you. I really, really appreciate it. Christopher Wilson says where'd you go? Hello, Bobby. What's up? Christopher says her character was good when Bray was there. Yeah, well, it's a carbon copy of basically Bray's not there. They're just going to let her do what Bray did, right? Christopher Ray Patton says Shane for sure the scapegoat on this one, similar to Bischoff and SmackDown didn't do as well. Yeah, I agree with that. You guys know my, listen, I'll wrap this up, move to the next thing. You guys know my thoughts on Shane McMahon, right? And we're going to hit this button a lot today. Believe that. When it comes to Shane in the ring.
Hot garbage.
It's nothing personal. I don't know the guy to dislike him. For all I know, he is, like MJF, the salt of the earth, okay? And a treasure to his race. I don't know. I don't know, all right? Because I don't know him. But in the ring.
Hot garbage.
I think I made my point. He can fall. Man, can he fall. Oh, can he fall. Give him something to fall off of. He can do that all day. Everything else, nah. Just my take. If you guys love him, go with God, brother. That's all I can say. Speaking of returns, Rhonda Rousey. So, WWE got their legit fighter back. Their mainstream, legit, real world, honest to God fighter. Baddest woman on the planet. You hear me? It's a big planet. It's a big one. I got some exes that maybe could be considered the baddest woman on the planet. Actually, I got one that may be the craziest woman on the planet. Different story for a different podcast, okay? Anyway, baddest woman on the planet. Ronda, by God, Rousey, back in WWE, back in the company that she bagged on every chance she got. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tom, for God's sake, you don't know what working is, Tom? Here, I said that. Working. You don't know what working is, Tom? You don't know what that means to work? Really? She was just doing her stuff online. Listen. Ronda Rousey is not a professional wrestler by trade. Okay? By trade. She's not a professional wrestler. Don't come to me and talk to me about Ronda's working the crowd there, Tom. Oh, my God. That Ronda, she's working the fans. Huh. You can believe what you want. It's fine. And you can try to convince me that you're right, and that's fine too. In my opinion, I don't know. And this is just my take. Take it or leave it. I don't know that she gets this stuff. I'm not talking about in the ring. I'm talking about up here. And no, I don't mean she's stupid. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm just saying, does she get this stuff? Or is it more of a case of, you ever look at someone's social media and go, did you read this? I do that a lot with her stuff because I genuinely don't know if she gets it or not. Christopher Ray Patton says she gets cheered 2 nights in a row and then turns on the fans immediately. I'm not falling for that. Listen here. Never you mind those cheers. I'm not falling for that. I don't know what's going on. I'm just here to yell a lot. Tim says a lot of my Twitter friends weren't impressed with the Men's Royal Rumble. Why Finn or none of the NXT Super? Yeah, I agree. John says Amanda Nunes and Holly Holm might say they better than Rousey. I can see where you're coming from. How am I going to argue that? I'm not arguing that at all. Jamie says I want Ronda versus Shayna. And here's the best part of Ray. Ray? I just saw Ray's name. I do that sometimes. Ray, I'll throw you a comment up there. Hate this neutral Rousey. She faced her. Thank you. For all of you guys and gals, hello, ladies. What's up? You got to make the female audience happy, dude. This is my money. Don't worry, kids. Them's are just jokes, okay? Look. Whether you've been watching this for 10 years or for 10 minutes, here's what I'm going to tell you. And this falls in the category of that Tom's on to something or that Tom's a friggin' idiot. You decide. You make the call. Middle of the road does not work. Let me say it again. Middle of the road does not work. In case you missed it, middle of the road does not work. Do you want to know why? Ask. as I sip my coffee, ask and I'll tell you why. Hit me. By the way, I'm repping the Beatles today. You like that? I don't have the main event cup. By the way, get all your main event merch and get all your 6M podcast merch. tinyurl.com/TomClarkPods, PODS. It puts very little money in my pocket, but puts cool logos on your back and your front. Designed by, guess what? Guess who? Your boy. Uh-oh. He can do Photoshop too. Shut up. This guy's all purpose. He can drink coffee, podcast, and do Photoshop with one hand. Shut up. What's up, Shannon? How are you? Middle of the road does not work in the pro wrestling business. You want to know why? You ask me. Hopefully, I'll tell you. It does not work because people want to cheer or boo, and that's it, period. In a discussion, moving on. Middle of the road doesn't work. He's a tweener. Tom, he's a tweener. Oh, Tom, she's a tweener. Shut up. It does not work. Not today, not then, not ever. You're wrong. Uh-oh. Tom's taking a hardline stance. Drawing a line in the sand. Middle of the road does not work. I don't care what you think. You're wrong. I'm just playing, but you're wrong. It doesn't work. For the most part. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? I'll tell you. People want to cheer and they want to boo. And if you try to play middle of the road tweener, they will decide for you. Okay? Do you want them deciding for you or do you want to control the narrative? WWE wants to control the narrative. AEW's take is, let the crowd decide. John says, do you think AEW is where it's at now? I think they're doing a good job. I have mixed feelings on AEW with some of their stuff. I'm a fan of some. I'm not a fan of others. I think they're heading in the right direction. That's my take. That's my opinion. So there you are. Yeah. Ronda either needs to be face or heel. Does everybody agree with that? Let me see your comments, kids. Does everybody agree that Ronda either needs to be, I'll get it, either needs to be face or heel? That tweener, middle of the road, does not work. It doesn't work, folks. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't work. Okay? So, because of that, she needs to pick a side. They need to pick a side for her. Figure out what she's doing. Okay? It just goes back to the idea that Becky Lynch's heel turn was a horrible, horrible idea. Horrible idea. Never should have happened. Frank says, where'd you go, Frank? Ronda definitely a heel. Not likable. There you go. Ray says, I look 14. Ray, you say the sweetest things. All right, kids, let's talk about it. We've been slow dancing around it. The Royal Rumble. Who watched the Rumble and what'd you think? Let's run it down, kids. Seth freaking Rollins defeated Roman by God Reigns for the WWE. Well, no, he didn't defeat him from the title. Wouldn't that have been fun? I actually thought he would. Can I be honest with you? I thought he would. He won by DQ. Seth was great. Seth was on his game. Seth is a babyface. It was really, really well done. I want to see how they follow it up, and I hope they're not done with Seth versus Roman, but I think they might be for right now. We'll see. Bad move in my opinion. What do I know? As we know, Ronda Rousey defeated 30 other women for the most part. Not all of them. You know, she got in the Rumble. She didn't do anything. Did you guys catch that? She got it. She didn't do anything. She just got up, showed up, and blended in, and then won. Uh-oh. Pointed to the sign, acted all mad, and walked off. Stormed off, actually. Looked bored. Looked more boring than the men's Rumble match. Shut up. But yeah, she outlasted, and she eliminated Charlotte Flair to win the women's Royal Rumble match. Becky Lynch defeated Doudrop. Piper Niven, man, I'm telling you, I just don't. Piper's in a weird spot in that company, and for all kinds of different reasons. And we've talked about it a lot here on the show. You guys know how I feel. I love her. I just think she's in a rough spot. I mean, she faced the champ on a pay-per-view, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year. How's she in a rough spot? Just the way she's presented, what she's given to do, the way she's showcased. It's not working for me personally. That's just me. Bobby Lashley defeated Brock Lesnar. to become the WWE champion thanks to Paul Heyman. There you go. Edge and Beth Phoenix defeat the Miz and Maurice. Fun mixed tag match, but I'll be honest with you. I don't care for the women touching the men. Because if you're going to let that happen, then let the man put her through a table. If you're going to do that, let him do everything. And I'm not for intergender wrestling. You guys know that. All due respect to the women that do it. All due respect to the men who do it. Go with God, brother. For me personally, in my own personal taste, I'm not a fan of it. Okay. It's why I don't watch Impact full time. I just don't. It's just me. You can disagree. It's fine. All right. But if you're going to let women touch the men and slam them around and kick them and slam them and slap them, then let men put her through a table. That's it. Because a bump's a bump, right? A bump's a bump's a bump. Forget it. Just let them go. I mean, in my opinion, you're crossing lines that don't really need to be crossed. That's why I'm not a big fan of mixed tag matches. But if you keep it separate, it's fine. But they're not keeping it separate. So just let men, light table on fire, put it through it, here in the head with barbed wire. Because how extreme is it going to get? You see what I'm saying? Where do we go from here? I know what you're saying. Tom's pushing the panic button. Oh, God. I'm not trying to. I'm just giving you my own perspective. And then we know what happened at the end, kids. Brock Lesnar. That's Brock Lesnar to you. Mr. Brock Lesnar. By last eliminating Drew McIntyre to be the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble match, to the surprise of virtually no one. Rick says, is that any different than Nyla Rose? I don't know what you mean, Rick. What do you mean? Explain. I really don't know what you mean. Because I'm not a fan of it. Nyla identifies as a woman, so she's a woman. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not a fan. That's me. It's okay if you like it. I'm not telling you not to like it. I'm not telling you it's the scourge of the business at all. I'm just telling you, for me personally, I'm not a fan of it. That's just me, though. James says, I think the Men's Rumble was awful. It would have been better if it had been more surprise entry. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, dude. A lot of people are saying that. That there were no surprises, and that sucks. Jeff says he's not a fan either. Chris says that 3D, though. Yeah, I saw the Kofi spot. That sucked for him, man. I mean, this is what happens when you try, not Kofi, but when you try to get cute with stuff and it could go wrong. This is what happens. It's what happens. Mark says, until WWE builds new stars, we will constantly see Brock and Ronda, well, and Roman and Charlotte, from your lips to the ears of God. It's how they roll, man. It's how they roll. They're talking about wanting to build. They know they need to build new stars. They're not building new stars. Come on. Come on. You think they're building? Does anyone here look me in the eye and tell me you honestly believe that WWE is building new stars?
Hot garbage.
Dude, Big E was thrown out of the Men's Royal Rumble as if he had never been world champion. Doesn't that bother anyone? I mean, Moss threw out AJ Styles, for God's sake, dude. Madcap Moss, what? I don't get it. Moss threw out AJ. I'm confused. I'm so confused. I don't know. I mean, at least Riddle and Randy Orton threw out Big E, right? So there is that. There, you can say that, hey, he's thrown out by two top guys, right? Supposedly. So Shane throws out Kevin Owens. What? And there's talk that Shane was going to be in Elimination Chamber match. What? Why? It's that company. No sense getting mad about it. Why are you getting mad? Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Bad Bunny had the pop of the Rumble, and I think that's very telling. I think that's a big thing. Phil said it last night. We did an episode of the 6M, and he had a great point. That's very telling. When an outsider is getting a bigger pop and was a better reaction than some of your established guys and up-and-coming guys. It's the truth. Just saying. Same with Knoxville, right? How about this? How about Liv Morgan? How about Liv Morgan getting thrown out by the Bella Twins? Liv Morgan, who they seem to, at any given point, tie their cart to her to let her pull. And then they break a wheel. Right? One minute they want her, next minute they don't want her. So they had a former talent, a former wrestler, who's no longer with the company, throw her out. Is it the end of the world? Probably not. Is it going to kill Liv's career? Hopefully not. Is it a big deal in the grand scheme of things? Maybe not. But in my opinion, it's telling. It's well, we're going to make new stars. We're not. We're just kidding. And was Liv like, Bree's going to throw me out? Oh my God, yes. Sure. Why not? But from where I'm sitting in this big comfy chair, the aesthetic of it is weird, isn't it? Am I crazy? Who else felt that way? E says, do you think Veer, Jinder, and Shanky? No, I think they're going to take over the company. Don't hinder Jinder, E. Don't hinder Jinder. John says, I think Liv is good in the ring and not being respected by WWE brass like she should be. Mark says, and also that Canadian Destroyer on Riddle looked good, for sure. Marcus says Shane will be reopen WCW, ECW. Not up to him, my friend. That's up to his dad. What's up, Wilf? How are you, dude? Mark says, who's putting Austin Theory over at Mania? He needs to have a great opponent. He's extremely talented and sells well. He's a future top guy. He could be. Will they do the right thing? Who knows? E says Elias needs to return. And do what? Play the guitar? Again? Yawn? From me personally, that's how I feel. What's up, Robbie? Johnny Knoxville entering the Rumble was a moment that could put coffee to sleep. That crowd said otherwise. I see where you're coming from, but Gazi says Knoxville was always going to get a big pop. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Ron says it sets up Bella's versus Liv and Sarah. I guess. It better set up something. Because otherwise, I don't know why you did it. Listen. Foresight. It's a good word. It's a big word. Not very big. Grand scheme of things, it's this big. But in other walks of life, it's huge. Foresight. It feels as though sometimes that company doesn't have foresight. Now, am I wrong? Could be. Maybe they got this all planned out, and at the end of the day, we'll go, oh my God, it's the best thing I've ever seen. But from where I'm sitting, it feels like there's no foresight. What was it Punk said on Cabana's podcast after he left? That the only plan they ever had was for John Cena. That he felt like Vince's thing was, what's next for Cena? And everybody else was a distant second. Because that was the only plan they had. Because there was no foresight. There was no, let's look at these guys. Let's look over here. Let's look ahead. And they can talk about NXT all day long. And they do. But NXT is not the same show. That's a different topic. Different topic. Why is Bad Bunny? And you know what? Bad Bunny in the Rumble. Because he's good. He, for a celebrity that's never done this before, he fits in great. And they're good with it. I'm usually not great with celebrities getting involved in wrestling. But you know what? It's their company. Let them do what they want. I could hate it or love it. Doesn't really matter what I think. I think he's willing to bump and he's willing to take some shots. Let him take them. Ray vouching for the 6M. Good kids, go check out Tom Clark's 6M podcast. There you go. Ron says, how else could make a name for himself other than by throwing out one of the all-time greats like AJ? Yeah. But here's what I'll say to you in response to that, Ron. Here's what I'll say. Do something with it. Do something with it. If in a month we're not talking about Moss, they evidently didn't do anything with it. We are trusting this company by giving them the benefit of the doubt. Not that you are, I'm just saying. For anyone giving them the benefit of the doubt to do the right thing, you are trusting a company that consistently lets people down. I don't mean every one of you, because some of you love it. But I'm saying a lot of other people will go, what just happened? We're trusting that company who books matches that never take place, who destroys guys in their hometown. Don't talk to me about Punk. We'll get there. Humiliates people. Vince goes on live TV and laughs about firing people at the holidays. I'm not letting that go. Sorry. We're trusting that company to do the right thing in what we believe to be the right thing. There's two sides to this. Our side that we all talk about and debate all the time, and then their side. It's never, hardly ever the same thing, dude. Hardly ever. You're right. If they do something with it, sure. Was AJ a lot to win? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's build on it. Give Moss to AJ. And maybe it's been said. Maybe AJ said, give me that kid. I'll do something. You let me work with him. I'll make him. Maybe it's been said. How do we know? With a name like Madcap Moss, the sky's the limit. Of course, they've been calling Nemeth Dolph Ziggler for 20 years. Hey, listen, it's my own personal thing. I've never been a fan of the name. Shoot me. We were talking earlier about Nyla Rose. Who was it asked about Nyla Rose? Please hit me with your comment because I never caught back up with you, and I apologize. I got a lot of comments flying in. So, what did you guys think of the show overall? I thought Seth and Roman killed it. I thought they delivered. 6 ways from Sunday. I thought it was really good, their match. Seth always delivers. He and Roman have great chemistry. Seth coming down the ring with the Shield music and the gear. Shut up. Primo stuff. Loved it. Sandy says Riddle was supposed to win the Rumble. That's part of the buzz, but Sandy, we could say all kinds of stuff. We could say all kinds of stuff. We don't really know. I mean, I don't know. That's some of the things that people are saying, but I don't know. Who knows, dude? You don't know unless you're there. We're kind of all just taking these guys' word for it. I do have a language policy, Robbie. Thank you. It's just if you curse, I'm not putting your comment up on the screen. I just ask people to keep it clean, or I'm not going to put your comment up. No offense. It's just I don't work that way. So I don't work blue. He says, where's Apollo and Aziz? Brother, if I knew, I would tell you. Let's talk about something some of y'all been talking about. It's making the rounds again, kids. Bill Goldberg. Young, scrappy Bill Goldberg. The future star of WWE. Whole world and whole life ahead of him and whole world of possibilities ahead of him. Going to climb that ladder rung by rung and face the big dog. The tribal dog. Chief big dog. Roman, by God, reigns. Going to make a name for himself. Roman going to carry him. Look, I'm on the record before everybody starts saying, Bill Goldberg sucks. I'm on the record of saying I love Bill. I've always loved Bill. I think Bill is a quality human being. Okay. Bill, the charity stuff that he does and all that stuff. And dude, it's the real deal. He's not doing it for publicity. He's the real deal. And his peers, guys around him, vouch for him for real. He's the real deal. Do I want to keep seeing Goldberg in the ring in 2022? I'm not a major fan of it. I don't have to be though, right? I think the match he had with Lashley got the job done. I thought he was fine. You know what I'm saying? People hated on it. It is what it is. So John has his feelings. OMG, please don't bring Goldberg back. He's not good anymore. Eric, we're getting to AEW next, my friend. Man, we're going long here today. Hope you guys don't have anything to do. Hey, Rick, I'm sorry, brother. What was it you were asking about Nyla Rose, man? Come back to me and ask me, because I missed your comment probably like 40 comments ago. Because we were talking about the intergender stuff. I'm going to keep it right here so I don't miss it. So, yeah. We'll see. The boy's at school, Ray all day. The boy is getting himself an education. So, he better be paying attention. Quit watching the show and do your work, son. He's not watching the show. Chris says Paul with Roman should be able to set up a decent Goldberg match similar to Goldberg versus Lesnar. Ron, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Kids, we're going to try something a little bit different next week. Ron Emerson is hosting this deal called the Roundtable Rumble. Is that it? I don't want to say it wrong. Going to try this podcast thing. It's going to be like 43 of us. He's going to have to direct traffic, like Favreau on the Avengers. He's going to have to direct some traffic, man. I'm just saying, to make things happen. So it'll be interesting to see what goes down. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see. I'll share the post on all the social media and stuff. So he's asking about Kendrick. Don't say stupid stuff on social media. That's the takeaway, kids. From me to you. If you got something stupid to say, don't type it. Resist the urge. Because something going to happen. It's going to come back to haunt you. Believe that. Okay? Oh, here we go. Rick says, in the real world, you do you. You can identify as a unicorn if you want to. Sports needs to be different. LeBron James can't say he's now a woman and go to the WNBA and score 100 points a night. Rick, pro wrestling is not sports. Pro wrestling is not sports. Don't get it twisted. Nyla Rose has just as much of an ability to take care of her opponent as Brock Lesnar does, as Trish Stratus did, as Lita does. Doesn't make a difference. If you are a safe worker, you are a safe worker whether you are male or female. It's not sports. I'm not getting into an NBA discussion of how people identify and whether or not they go to a different league. That's not for me to debate. I'm not getting into that. You can have your views if you want to. My view is if she identifies as a woman, she's a woman. That's it. And out of respect to her, I call her a woman. I don't have to agree with anything anyone does, but I want people to respect me. I'm going to show them respect first. Not that you're disrespecting her, but this is not sports, my friend. Thank you for hitting me with that comment, dude. I welcome all opinions here. Sandy says, what are you drinking? Just coffee, my friend. I'm straight edge. You guys know that. Molly, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. James says they need to bring back the Hardcore Championship. I disagree. If from where I'm sitting, I'm not a fan of the Hardcore title. That's just me. Ray, of course I'll follow you, man. Anyone on the Twitter, follow me. I'll follow you back. You guys, while you're here, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up and the heart button. Please and thank you. And hit that bell for notifications. You guys are awesome. I very much appreciate you. Tim says, hopefully you can bring Tina and Phil back. Yeah, dude, they'll come back. We'll have them back. No worries. We're going to get the Horsemen back together on this show. So it's going to be me and James and Troy and Phil. We'll put the band back together. Okay. We'll make it happen. So there you go. Let's hit a really quick SmackDown preview and then we'll get to AEW. You guys want to talk some AEW? You're in the right place. Yeah. Okay. Paul Heyman rejoins Universal Champion Roman Reigns. Ronda Rousey appears tonight and tells you who she's going to pick. It's going to be that Charlotte or it's going to be that Becky. Uh-oh. And Drew McIntyre, to be honest, comes back tonight. There's all we got. SmackDown preview. There you go, kids. Let's hit on some numbers. This week, Raw, 1.87 million up. Last week's 1.77, excuse me. NXT up 619 versus 593. Tonight's SmackDown, we're not sure, hasn't happened yet. And 2.2 million last week. Who's here for some AEW? Raise your hand, baby. Let's see it. What do you guys think about MJF defeating? Tim, do I not follow you on Twitter? I'll follow you, dude. I promise you. Margaret Brewster, how are you? Thanks for watching. I'll follow you, Tim. No worries, man. Frank wants some AEW. What song is it you want to hear? I'll give it to you. So, what do you guys think? Sandy says hot garbage. You didn't like Maxwell beating Punk in his hometown? What'd you guys think? Yes, David, we talked about it. Yeah, money, 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 baby. Money, money, money. You're right. It's insane. John says he had to cheat to beat Punk, but I give Punk his props for allowing himself to be defeated for the first time in AEW. It had to come eventually. Had to come eventually. I'm okay with the finish, Chris. I get where you're coming from, but I'm okay with it. MJF is a heel. MJF needs to stay heel. MJF's got no business winning a match clean, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't think it adds anything to his character. It doesn't make him a bona fide main event star. What makes him him is that he's a no good, rotten scoundrel. That's what he is. Christopher, I'm with you. I liked it as well. I think the right guy won the match. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, Tom. Oh, Tom. How come is it you have a problem when WWE guys are made to lose in their hometown, but you don't care that Punk lost in his hometown? You want to know the difference? Gather close, baby, and I'll educate you. Ready? In WWE, you are told what's going to happen. Right? We all believe that, don't we? In AEW, maybe not so much. Punk's the veteran. Punk's been there, done that. MJF wants to be where Punk has been. You understand? I'm not talking about WWE. I'm talking about to the top of the business, okay? MJF wants to be there. You could argue he's maybe there now, but not as world champ, okay? So, if Punk felt this wasn't the time, he would have said so. Now, did he? Maybe. I don't know. Do you know? Any of you guys know? I don't know. They have input here in this company. Do you really think that Khan comes back there and goes, hey, you're going over right there. Shut up. Get to work. I pay you, don't I? Get to work. I don't buy that. Now, maybe that's the truth. And Khan's bigger heel than Friedman is. I don't know. But I don't believe that personally. That's me. Okay. I think when they have input, it's a different story. It's a different story, man. You know what I mean? This was the right move, in my opinion. I'm okay with it. Timothy, good point. We all knew CM Punk. Yeah, he had to lose eventually. He's a great opponent for Punk. David is spitting some Vince McMahon stuff right here. Everyone thinks the hometown hero is automatically going to win, so they lose. It's a nice game. In that company, you're right, but in WWE, they never let the hometown guy win. It's like 1 in a million because this is Vince's mantra right here, Dave, what you just said. Vince is like, pal, they know they're going to, let's make them lose. Punk's in Chicago. Well, by God, let's. You know what I mean? David Down Under, brother, I missed you coming into the show. How are you, my friend? Says, I love MJF, best heel in the business. I concur with your sentiment. Frank Riviera says, Punk versus MJF was a great match. No quickie match. Yeah, I agree. La, 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 la. Shannon, you still here? Talk to me. Talk to me. There's an old Kiss song. Talk to me. All I want is a little conversation. I got a face made for radio, telling you, and a voice made for keeping it to myself, right? Brian! What's up, brother? There's 26 of you here right now. Do you guys remember Wrath / Adam Bomb / the one and only Brian Clark? Brian Clark in the house. I want everybody here to pay some respect to Brian Clark, okay? Brian been there, done that as well. Brian, are you healing up from surgery, my friend? How are you? Recently had bicep surgery, right? Bicep or tricep? I can't remember. Brian has been there, my friend. All of you, listen, pay respect to the man, all right? Plus, he's got the best last name ever. Come on, just be honest. Just call it like I see it. Yeah, dude. We'll have to have Brian on the show one of these days, man. Let you guys talk to him. Ask him some questions, man. Chronic. I still submit one of the best theme songs of all time. I'm sorry. I loved it. Loved it. Everybody say hello to Brian, man. Brian says, back in the gym. We'll be at Mania. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. Brian's a good guy, man. Good guy. Dude, I'm friends with so many pro wrestlers on Facebook. Brian, I'm in the business here too in North Carolina, my friend. I've got a company called HVW, and we're coming back. Spoiler alert: we may be coming back at some point. I'm not supposed to say anything. But yeah, dude. I'm excited, as you can see. So yeah, I love this stuff, man. I'm such a nerd for it. I can't help it. Shannon says, I thought it was a great match. Who better than MJF to give who better? Punk said, yeah, I agree. The right man won 100%. 100%. How about Brian Clark versus Wardlow? I'd buy that for $1. You kidding me? Yikes. I would ask you, Brian, if AEW has ever reached out, but you don't have to answer. I mean, some stuff you play close to the vest, but I'd be curious to know if AEW has ever reached out. I'd love to see you in an AEW ring, dude. I think that'd be fun. So there you go. Let's talk about something else big that happened on that show. Bryan Danielson, kids, in case you didn't know, is a king. And Adam Cole, Ray Dean talking about Adam Cole is a king, and you're right. I'm a little fuzzy. Have I been fuzzy this whole time? Don't lie to me. Let me see if I can fix that. Bryan Danielson, kids, cut a great freaking promo. How's that? Is that better? Not so fuzzy. Have I been fuzzy this whole time? You guys didn't tell me. I thought you loved me. What about that Bryan Danielson? God, I feel like a spotlight now. Brian says no, but a lot of friends there, no interest. Hey, I feel you, man. Listen, it is what it is. I get that reaction about that company sometimes. It's sort of back and forth. I tell you this, I kudos to them for hanging in there and fighting the fight, man. Not against WWE, but you know what I'm saying. Going out there and putting on a show, dude. I mean, it's we need competition in the business. You guys know that. We need competition. Ray perhaps thinking that Mox's going to go heel. We'll see what happens. What's heel in that company? Is Cody heel right now? You know what I'm saying? That company's just, it's different when it comes to heels and faces. I don't have to agree with it, but I mean, it's, I don't have to love it either, right? But Danielson killed it, dude. He killed it. He came out, cut that promo, and when he said, but what if we work together? And I was like, oh, I popped for that on my couch. That's a famous thing, right? I was on my couch and popped for that. I did. I totally did, dude. I totally did. It was awesome. Because Brian is so good. Brian is so good, man. I'm two likes and hearts away from the big 5-0. So if any of you here have not done it, if you were to do it for me, I'd appreciate it. Hit the like button, the heart button, and the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. You guys are the best. So yeah, do I like the idea of Moxley and Danielson together? You better believe it. I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be so fun. Are you kidding me? Give it to me all day. 50. Look out, baby. Thank you very much, kids. I can't wait to see what happens. Christopher talking about he and Dana Alves. Yeah, there you go. Pop. Yeah, same here, man. That was awesome. I really enjoyed that. Brian is so much better than what we saw in many stages of WWE. Eric says, I'll be at AEW Dynamite this week. Should I make a Tom? Should you? Of course you should. Holy God, yes. Get you a shirt while you at it, baby. Well, it's too late now. You won't get there in time. Eric, for God's sake, take a sign, baby. It's Tom Clark's main event. You could just put, God, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. You guys are the best. Dave is incredibly late. Super Dave is incredibly late, Dave. Shame on you, Dave. Tim talking about the Moxley button. Yeah, I got to do. God, I keep forgetting to do the Jon Moxley button. The Justin Roberts saying, Jon Moxley. Yeah, I need to, man. I just haven't done it yet. We'll see what happens. I think most of you guys agree that a team between these two guys would be something else to see. Let's talk about this because some of you are already talking about it. Brandy versus Lambert equals one phrase, 2 words. Say it with me.
Hot garbage.
One more time for the cheap seat.
Hot garbage.
If every one of you could just clap your hands. All right? And for those of you in the better seats, rattle your jewelry.
Hot garbage.
That's a John Lennon quote right there. I love Brandy. I really do. I think she's so much smarter and so much more business savvy than she probably gets credit for the most part. I think Dan Lambert has something to offer. I do think he cuts really well-crafted promos. He's very well-spoken. I'm not feeling this. Obviously, by the hot garbage button being hit 3 times. I'm personally not feeling this. Now, can it go somewhere? Sure. Where is it going? I don't know either. Do you guys know where it's going? Because I don't. There's some weird undertones to this in the promos that he's cut against her. There's some weird black and white stuff, some racial things happening under the surface, which feels weird. And look, is he saying something that she doesn't know about? I'm sure he's not. It feels kind of dirty at times. Like, do we need to do this? Here's what I'll say. If they insist on making this about making her a face and getting her over as a face, in my humble estimation, it's the wrong move. Now, that's one guy's opinion, okay? But a lot of people are saying this is for Rhodes or Brandy Rhodes versus Paige Vanzant. The same Paige Vanzant who kind of badmouthed the business in an interview or two. I know what you're saying. All you people that said this about Rhonda earlier. Tom, Paige just working. Paige just working. She's just working, baby. Paige not a pro wrestler by trade. This is not her world, okay? Is she working when she cuts a promo or gives an interview talking about, bagging on AEW and Chris Jericho and stuff? And is that really her working, or is that her actually saying what she thinks? I'll leave that up to you to decide. Chris giving Brian Clark some love. When I was a kid, Wrath of Mortis was definitely one, if not my favorite tag team. I agree. Underrated tag team. Underrated. Shannon says she said, I was in Chicago when they chanted, "Shut the F up." It's good. Yeah, it's Ray says the X-rated comments are crazy. Yeah, it's weird. I just don't. What's up, Cherie? Have I missed you this whole time? My apologies if I have. How are you? Cherie says I need a Wild Thing button. Why get a Wild Thing button when there's one here? Did that work? My delivery was horrible. It's okay. I can't do music, man. If I do, they'll pull me off here in a heartbeat. What? Copyright infringement, pal. Oh, someone asked for a Penta Zarameldo. Medo. El Zaramedo. Yeah. That'd be fun. Yeah, Ray, you're right. Lambert making comments about her nether regions was a little much. I totally agree. It just feels weird. I just personally am not feeling it. Here's something you may be feeling. Heyman Adam Page defend the AEW World Championship against Lance Archer, the Murder Hawk monster. Kids, how are we feeling about this? And be straight. Give it to me straight. Before you answer, I'll tell you what I think. Ready? I think this will be a fun match. I think Archer has more than proven himself. I think that Archer can go. I think he's good in the ring. I think he's got the psychology. He's a veteran. I think he'll give Paige a run for his money, and I think it's going to be a really good match. Okay? It'll be a good win for Paige and get him to the next guy. That's what I think. I think it'll be fun. And I think anybody throwing hate at Archer or the match itself or the booking is missing the point. This is not about we're going to elevate Archer to top tier status. Maybe not necessarily, but it's showing that this guy has given top guys a run for the money and give them all they can handle and narrowly lost to them, that says a lot about Archer. It doesn't necessarily mean, well, Archer can't win the big one, pal. Not necessarily. But it does mean, listen, if you give this guy a chance and the conditions are right, he could beat anybody here. I think that says something. Ray says, Archer, no shot. They are saving Paige versus King Cole, and you know who'd be winning. Can I be honest with you, Ray? I think MJF beats Adam Page. My opinion. I don't think Cole beats him. Chance says it's going to be a great match. I agree. I totally agree. So, there you go. Cherie says, laugh of the night was Adam Cole's promo. I don't have a loss. I'm unseated. That's good stuff. So here's what I'll say about the whole Adam Cole thing. And if you guys watch Being the Elite, you know what I'm talking about. I think Cole eventually does turn face, and I think that he's going to be saved. He's going to either make the save or be saved in the ring by John Silver and Alex Reynolds, because this BTE stuff is freaking hilarious. Freaking hilarious. We've passed the top of the hour here, kids. Let's get some more thoughts on this before we open the floor up. Eric says, what are the rules for the Texas Death Match? Hope they find out on Boardwalk. We'll see. I don't think they've announced yet how their version is going to play out. Jim talking about well, brother, we've already covered the Men's Royal Rumble, and trust me, we talked about how unfulfilling it was. Jamel says, I think Wardlow beats Paige and has to give the title to MJF. Ooh, that's interesting. Jim, it's all good. Thanks for tuning in anyway, dude. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be good. Real quick with the Rampage preview before we open the floor way up. Remember, no spoilers. He who spoileth kicketh the F out. Don't get kicketh the F out, kids. No spoileth. So says the Book of Tom. Chapter 1, verse 1. He who spoileth kicketh the F out. There you go. Adam Cole versus Evil Uno. Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez. AWT champion Sammy Guevara defends against Isaiah Cassidy. FTW champion Ricky Starks defends against Jay Lethal in the main event. Do not spoil this show for me or anyone here. If you do, you're out. Don't do it. Resist the urge, pal. Okay. Numbers, and then we open the floor up, folks. Dynamite this week, 954, down last week, actually, from 1.10 million. Rampage, we don't know. It hadn't happened yet, but last week, Rampage, 601. Good night for them. All right, kids, you know what that means? The floor, she be open. She be wide open. Get on in there in that open floor and say what you want to say. Dave says, thoughts on AJ winning at the Chamber? He won't, but I'd be for that. All right. I don't care much for AJ's politics, but we're not talking politics. We're talking in the ring. AJ's, for lack of a better word, phenomenal. I can't ever be upset when AJ wins a match. There you go. Ray, we always look forward to your comments. Cypress Hill or Beastie Boys. And if Adam Cole made you and your family a sweet potato pie and there was extra, can I have? And after took you bowling, can I come as well? I love the scenario of Adam Cole showing up and saying, hey, I brought you a sweet potato pie. Now let's go bowling. It's like Prince beating you at basketball and then making pancakes. Which, by the way, everyone has backed up that story from Charlie Murphy. Charlie Murphy! Bam! Right? It's good stuff. Yes, you can. And yes, you may. And I'll go Beastie Boys. It's hard. That's hard, man. Cherie says Inner Circle over. I assume you mean over as in finished, kaput, kablooey, done. Stick a fork in them. Could be. It seems to have ended fairly weirdly, didn't it? You got Jericho yelling online or yelling on TV and giving the finger and stuff. It's odd. It's kind of a weird thing to do all this. We'll see. Jim says, did Vince really fire Shane? I don't think it was about firing anyone. I think it was just a matter of he rubbed some people. The story is that he rubbed some people the wrong way in the Men's Royal Rumble match, the planning of it and all that stuff. And then they just said, we can't take this. Just going home for now. I don't think it's forever. But what do I know? I mean, maybe it is. Danny says, I wish they would ban shoot interviews. Not hearing it makes it a little more simpler to suspend belief. I agree. Don't click it, brother. Don't click it. Thoughts on Whoopi Goldberg being suspended? I don't know this story. Do I know this story? Christopher says, going to the first GCW show in Atlanta, not really a question, just excited. Hey, man, have fun, dude. I've caught a little bit of GCW. I didn't watch their last show. Let me say this before I go any further. I never wish ill will on a pro wrestling company that's trying to do things right. Now, when I see blood and guts, 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 all the way through, blood and guts, blood and guts, blood and guts, barbed wire, C4, explosions, boom. Nah, that's not for me. For me. I don't call that pro wrestling. It's not for me. That's just me. Okay? So with those companies, I'm like, all right. I don't know enough about GCW to pass judgment, but here's what I'll say. This idea that we have to, GC, F, and W. We've done this. We've seen this with ECW. I don't need that. Personally, I don't need that. Maybe I'm being too hard. I'm being too critical. They've got buzz. They've got money to bring names in, apparently. They're doing something. Competition is critical for the pro wrestling business. I'm all for it. By the way, Chris, have a good time. Dem Boys versus Ray and Penta. Who wins? We do, E. We all do. Cherie, don't get political here on me. I don't want to, because people may not like my political views. It's my show, so if I want to spout off, I will, but I don't want to. So that's just me. But I appreciate your thoughts, and as always, I appreciate you watching. David Down Under, what's up? When are we going to cut Omos? Looks so unnatural when wrestling. They get rid of good moving big men like Keith Lee and keep Omos. It's a tough sale, isn't it, with Omos? I don't dislike the guy, but yeah, it's hard, right? Is it working for you kids? Is it working? I don't want to see anybody get cut. I just don't, unless they just do something heinous. You know what I mean? I don't really campaign for that at all. But is it working with Omos? I don't know, dude. Rick says Fozzie's going on tour in late March, so something needs to change in the storyline. So, Rick, here's the thing, my friend. We've heard this before. Fozzie's going on tour. They're going to do this, going to do that, and then nothing happens on TV. I'm not saying you're wrong, but if they go that route this time, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Shane says, Tojo Yamamoto or Mr. Fuji, who you got? Tojo all the way. No disrespect to Mr. Fuji. Tim says, question for Ray Dean. Uh-oh. Tim is hitting Ray with a question. Ray, you better say yes. Oh, well, E, if that's what she said, shame on her. Good God Almighty. I've not read the comments or heard them. That's kind of a really dumb thing to say, isn't it? Yikes. Chris says they haven't announced the card yet, but it probably will be a little more laid back as it isn't a pay-per-view. There you go. Yeah, dude. I believe you should support the wrestling business. Go out there and spend your hard-earned money on a promotion that's doing it the right way and delivering a product that you want to see. If Sirius XM asked you to do a weekly show on the Busted Open channel, would you, and what would your show be? Robbie, I'm afraid in the grand scheme of things, my friend, I don't measure up to anything they're doing on Sirius XM. I aim big and I have dreams, but I think, we won't get into it. I don't know. You'd have to do something different because Busted Open's doing all the stuff we're doing right now, basically, except they take hardline stances because their guys are Hall of Famers and good on them. I try to stay more middle of the road, and I don't flat out say, I can't wait till they sell WWE, give it to somebody else. This is a horrible company. I don't say that. I'm not a fan of their product a lot of times, but they've got a great roster. And for the most part, those people are working hard, dude. Behind the scenes, in the ring, all the way around, from top to bottom, working hard. You know what I mean? I also can't sit here and say AEW is going to be here for 20 years, longer. I don't know. You know what I mean? I can just give you my take. I don't really take a hardline stance on anything. Will says it's minus 40 in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Brother, you can have it. Shannon, I will. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I'm turning this down. I'm going blind over here. Every time I look at you, I go blind. Yikes. Am I fuzzy again? That ring light is fierce, man. What do you think is next for Big E? E says. E, I don't know. I'd like to say the title. Don't think it's going to happen. Ray says, what's the 6M going to be about this? I haven't pulled the trigger and decided yet, my friend. Ray, do me a favor. Share the show. Listen, kids, before we get out of here, tinyurl.com/TomCartPods, PODS. You can get Tom Cart's main event merchandise, Tom Cart 6M podcast merchandise. The 6M podcast is movies, music, Marvel magazines, miniseries, and more. We focus on everything geek culture / pop culture, everything you can imagine under the sun and more. Please go download. It's free. Subscribe and download today. We have a lot of fun on that show. I very much appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Who is the halftime show this year, Cherie? Who is the halftime show? Alma, how are you? Good to see you. Because I honestly don't even know. Is anybody excited for the Super Bowl? Anybody? Good for those cities, man, but yeah. Dave says your product is homegrown. Those other social media platforms have big money to throw at to keep up the good work, my friend. David, brother. God, thank you, man. I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you. I'm the little show that could since 2014. Established. It's on the kickoff. Established 2014. Yeah. All right, kids, we're about to take it home. Hit me with something good here. Anthony, I haven't seen your name, have I? Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre, and Eminem. Is that a question or a comment? You guys are still talking. I got something I got to go do, so I can't stay here all day, but we'll see. Chris says, I would watch it because of Matt Stafford, UGA alum. Wouldn't say I'm excited. I'm happy for Stafford, dude. I think he's been through a heck of a run, heck of a ride. I'm happy for him. Oh, that's the halftime show. Sorry. Good for them, man. Good for them. I owe everybody here $1 for that. My apologies. I owe $29. Turn your volume off, Tom. I thought it was turned off. Evidently, it's not. Kids, guess what? That's my cue. That's my go-home cue. Promoter's tugging on his ear. That means it's time to go home. Listen, kids, I appreciate you. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We will be back next Friday. Same Tom time, same Tom channel. Pretty sure. If not, I'll let you know. I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks, as always, for hanging out. Go spread the word about Tom Cart's main event and Tom Cart's 6M podcast. I'd very much appreciate it. You guys are the best, dude. Thank you very much for always being there, for hanging out, for reading. I got stuff up on Wrestling Rumors. Go check it out. Road to Combat, Brock Lesnar winning the Rumble. Please go have a read. I appreciate any feedback I can ever get from you guys. You guys are the best. Hope everybody here has a great weekend, okay? I appreciate you. Thanks again, kids. We'll see you next time. Tom Clark's main event.